What's going on, guys? It's Simo here at YCS London, and who are we with?
I'm Dinh Khang Pham.
And what did you just do?
I got the third place.
And what were you playing?
I played pure Orcust.
And why did you decide to play that deck?
Because it was the most consistent deck in the entire meta, and I played Orcust in the last format too, and I did pretty well at the big regionals, but unfortunately not in Ghent.
Cool. Well, let's see what you got.
Yeah. First, I want to make some shoutouts
Sure.
to my team, Junk's Playground, as you can see, and to my friends Kian, Eric, Zubas, Sven, Mark, and my girlfriend, and of course our team leader Benedict Junk.
Oh, it's Benedict.
So,
okay.
Yeah. Like I started to build Orcust immediately when the list dropped, and somehow it didn't work that well because the deck was too reliant on the normal summons, and if you get like hand trapped on the normal summons, you just pass the turn, like we saw today in the stream, like against Joshua Schmidt. Most of the time, if they don't have like an extra extender like Foolish Burger, they just like pass. So I decided to spice up my build to be like unaffected by hand traps, be unaffected by Lancea and Sanctum a bit. So I decided to go with a go blind Orcust.
Okay.
So first, the Orcust package, just a small one, because this one is the best one, of course. I can show you why later, because I play many discard cards. This one is, yeah, this one are, you need to play them at 1. You can also play 2, but I didn't want to brick. I play 40 cards exactly, and these 2 you have to play them at 2. The nightmares are really important because because you play Gizmek, you can banish 1, and like you cannot send a word 1 anymore. Also, sometimes you don't want to shuffle this back in because you have to shuffle this or this back in, so you can still have the second one to special summon from Backrow. Also, the other Orcust cards were 1 Barbel, 2 Return, 1 Crescendo. This one were obvious. I don't like to play 2 in the second build, so I just played 1. And I played 2 returns because 3 was too bricky for me and 2 was just fine. I just normally in the rank game I went in my turn into 1, and after that turn I went into the second one, and most of the time I will win by that time or I will lose. So 2 was enough. And of course the best Orcust, this Orochi, he won me like almost 60% or 70% of my games alone, because in the simplified game state you can just special summon him back every single time. You only have to be careful to leave these 2 in your banish pile before activating him. Like many people like try to shuffle this one back and then in the mid game they activate this one, but you should keep always these 2 in the banish if you want to use them in the next turn, for example. So this were my Orcust package, and now my normal summons. Like I only played with the Rota, I played 6 normal summons. This was enough because I went second, and also these were really good normal summons. These one are like probably obvious. This one over recycler, because if they like Sanctum you or Lancea you, can just keep him on the field and they have to clash most of the time, or they have to like make stupid plays like the Giesel target Mathematician. So this one was one of the best normal summons you can play. I drew like at least 10 times with Mathematician, and it was always insane. And also 1 Foolish as an normal summon or extender. These were all my extenders. I don't play like dangers, no instant fusion, nothing. I just went second and hope to draw like one of these cards to get into my Orcust engine. So, and then of course I go second, so I played the hand traps. 3 Phantasma, 3 Ash and 3 Impermanence. Because this one is obviously the best. It's good against Sky Striker, it's good against Salamangreat, it's good in the mirror match to draw all your go second stuff. This one is probably the best hand trap in this meta because you can hit everything. In the mirror match, if you have Ash like the normal summon, like 90% of the time they will just pass. And against Rogue you can hit all the draw spells. And this one I choose to play over Caught by the Grave. I don't play Caught by the Grave because I go win second. Also because I expected more like Lunar Light Orcust or something spicy combo decks, so I decided to play this one. And this one actually helped me against Hermann Hansen in top 16. He played Thunder Guard Dragon pile, and this one negated his Draco Need, and it won me like 2 games alone, just this card. Now for my go second cards, that's why I like this pile. I choose to go second, like 3 Nesta. This one was probably the best one of these because when they let me go first and I drew this one and an Orcust, it's still full combo. Also go second, like I can break almost every board. Appaloosa, what's called like Summon Good Wolf, Mirror Match, I break every board. Also, the revival effect of Nesta is really important in the grind camp. If you top deck this one, like for example in the mirror match, you just win because you can summon it, special summon Ningirsu, and contact fuse everything away. And just attack for at least 5,000 damage. Also, you can bluff your opponent really well when you just take your look at your starting hand. You're thinking like, ah man, I bricked. You can just set it so nobody will pop it like against Salamangreat. I did it like at least 3 times. Nobody destroyed it. So I just set it after like 10 seconds of thinking and then contact fuse. Like they always had rage, but they didn't rage it because they didn't expect it. So, and 3 Super Pulley. This one was also really good. I break so many boards today and yesterday. This card is probably more important than the contact fuse, the fusion, but it was really good. Most of the time I use it to UTK my opponent because I never had enough damage. I attack for like 6,000 damage and went into Venom for game most of the time. And this one is really important against the mirror match because everybody is now going for the Barbel, IP Masquerina and maybe Galatea. And then you can just, like in the draw phase, use your priority and wipe the entire board before they can shuffle something back with Galatea. And also it's really good against every meta deck right now if you play the appropriate targets like Salamangreat, Thunder Dragon and Mirror Match, and maybe even Guru if you play Mudbrain. So for the next go second card, it's Mind Control. Mind Control was really good. I decided to play it in the main deck because of all the rope decks. You can use it obviously against the meta decks. You can steal the Wolf, you can steal the Galatea, everything. You can bait every counter trap, you can OTK under 5 summons because if you steal a Link 2, it gets way more easier. Also, this card was really good against the rope deck. I played at least 3 Gurus and 2 Dracos. I always took their border or took their Guru and just link it away. It was really insane. Like I never sided it out, even if I know that they will let me go first, because if I can stop them, I can just steal their stuff and OTK them in the 3rd turn. And then I decided to main deck Twin Twister because of all the rope decks. I 2-0'd every rope deck because I main deck this one. Most of the time I drew this, the Twin Twister with return, and then I could discard my nightmares or my horrors to pop stuff, and it was really insane. Even against mirror match, it helped me like 2 times when I just killed the Impermanence and the Barbel, like multiple times. Also against Salamangreat, they tend to play enemy controller and rage and so on, so you can just like bait the counter trap with this one, Twin Twister, and then normally you can OTK, or you can just take everything from them and set up your board. So that was my main deck. So So as you can see, I really prepared to go blind second, and it worked really well. But I won like half of my dice rolls when where I said my opponent can go first. They didn't like, they expect a OTK deck, but most of the time I didn't OTK. I just went into a beatdown like Mathematician and where is it? Gizmek. I don't know where my Gizmek is right now, but most of the time I beat my opponent with just these two cards, because they lancered me, they thanked to me, they gave me I don't know, like every possible hand trap. Then I just get him somehow and just attack while holding all my board destruction cards. So every time they try to come back, I can just wipe the board again. It worked really well. Like the other half of when I lose the die roll, they all went first and they just lose. My extra deck, the standard Orcust ratio. So these are standard Orcust ratio like before, nothing to say. One Phoenix to out single back rows or floodgates, because I play now a Mathematician instead of Recycler, so I can kill, there can be only one. And also all my normal summons are like a Warrior or Spellcaster, so I can always make this one. Unicorn, because of this is a dark, and also when you steal like Wolf with mind control, you can make this one to bait more stuff. And also Borisov for the OTK. So now, as you saw, I played so many fusion cards. So I played 6 fusions. 2 for context fuse. This one was like the weakest. I always use this one, and I never needed 2, because the grind game never occurs, because I killed them most of the time in the next round. This one was important once when I played against Cyber Dragon on round 9. He made his full board and I just contact fused into his the Fortress Dragon, because he thought I only played Mega Fleet. So this one won me the whole match, because otherwise I would have lost. This is Venom, the alternative artwork. Of course you have to play him. Also the Predator Plant. I never played against Thunder Dragon today, but if you play against Titan, this one is also really good. This one is for Salamangreat, of course, to OTK them, to wipe the board. And this one is the new Predator Plant. For 3 darks, you can have a walking Solemn Warning. This one was one time relevant when my opponent like mind controlled me twice and took all my dark monsters. Then I just make him against Salamangreat, and I had like a warning on legs, and he wanted to make Stalio, but he couldn't, so I just won from there. But this one was a mistake. I didn't play it, as you can see, IP Masquerina. I missed there once. I never make the standard board like Babel, IP and some monsters. I never make that, because I always go second, and if I go first, I most of the time go for return to draw all my good cards. But this one should be Masquerina, just in case if you like really want to go into the combo. And I needed 2 times a Link 2, generic Link 2, that points down, because against Salamangreat I contact fuse this board, or against every deck when you contact fuse this board and also and went into more plays or into another Super Poly, you cannot use these monsters, because you cannot use both for fusion summons. So this one should be IP Masquerina. Otherwise I wouldn't change anything in the extra and in the main. So now my side deck. 3 Lancer for the mirror match and Thunder Dragon. 3 DD Crows for Thunder Dragon, Salamangreat, Orcust mirror match and Lunar Light. This was Nibiru before, but Nibiru was like really subpar, because I don't want to wipe the board. I want to either stop them to get into something, or just or I would like let them go into full combo, because I play Mind Control and Super Poly. So I need at least a bit on the board to play. Then for the Backrow decks, because in the main deck is heavily against meta. Also this is really good against every meta deck, almost every. So I played 3 Pranker Tops. It was really good against Rogue, also against, like, for example, Salamangreat. I side every time in because they play Sanctum. So I can just special summon him and give them a beatdown with, like, for example, Gizmek. And my normal sum like Armageddonite of Mathematician. This is how I won most of my rogue plays. I just normal summoned my stuff. He made a floodgate. He had like super poly set against Gurus, like, for example. Every time I played against rogue, I only had maximum 1 dark and like 3 or 4 earth monsters, like here earth and dark. They never could what's called again super poly me, or I just contact fuse my own board away because you cannot use the mega fleet for super poly. And 3 Galaxy Cyclone. This one was probably the best removal, even better than Twin Twister, because you can kill every set card. Nobody will chain floodgates to you, and even then you can just pop them in the next turn. It was really good against Guru because you just knew he couldn't do anything against this card. Like there can be only one multiple times, but I just popped it every single turn. I popped his card from my grave, and it was really good. And also 3 evenly match. I decided to play evenly match because of my good friend and teammate Pascal Kim. He got first place, and I wanted to prepare my deck against Trap Sky Striker as he played. This card is not good against Sky Striker. You shouldn't side this in against Sky Striker, because if you have this one in the graveyard one time, they can Shark Cannon it and destroy your life with that. So I decided to play these with the Twin Twister and Phantasma to have a better matchup, because this one is always +1. This one is like plus infinite if you hit them really hard, and nobody plays around evenly anymore. Like everybody's played today and yesterday played into it, and also my friend played Demise, so it was really good against that deck. So as you can see, in my side deck and in my main deck, I rarely played cards for going first, because most opponents still choose to go first after siding, because they don't want to risk me having everything like a full combo or like counter trap and draws. So they always went first again. So I just side this in against Backrow decks, this against most of meta decks, this against Thunder Dragon, and it just works. Like every go second card worked. I never bricked, and even then when I bricked, I just I could like steal their cards, make contact fusion or super poly and just attack and have hand traps to stop them again. And I would play it again, like next YCS in Milan. I will probably play this deck again, maybe some tweaks, because now everybody will play it like this, but it was really good.
Any shoutouts? You did them at the beginning. Oh, okay. Yeah. That's it. Thanks for the revolve.
Thanks so much.